Are you an angel?
I heard your prayers, Sarah.
I think the church's prayers have gone unanswered.
God stopped listening to us a long time ago.
Do not be afraid.
Welcome. Tyler's here. Bring you on. Let's see, buddy. What's up, man?
Howdy.
Thanks for making it tonight.
That's all good. I
We'll give you a couple day notice.
yeah, I almost fell into a bit of a panic about an hour ago. I was all like, because my earbuds that I normally use,
Yeah.
I leave them at work now,
Okay.
and so an hour ago I was like, oh shit, I don't have my earbuds. But I remembered I do have an older pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. These were kind of like messing up on me a little bit, but
Yeah.
they still work.
That's cool.
They're just not so good for music.
Yeah.
So
I
they
hear
work just fine for this.
I hear you.
So,
I've got these work. I can't believe these work because these are old. Like I said, if this keeps fucking going, this show, and I get more subscribers, you know what I'll probably do? Like I should like set a goal. Like 100 subscribers, I'll buy a new pair of headphones. I mean, these work, but they're just older, and I'm just like, any night these fucking things are gonna die, and that's really gonna piss me off. I have a pair of earbuds too, but for some reason they bug the shit out of me. I can't deal with them. It's like they're like earrings, they're like hanging and they're so easy to pop out. Like these fucking things, these are on your fucking head.
Yeah.
I'm like a an Air Force pilot or helicopter pilot or something. You know what I mean? Like got a little fucking mic here if I want to look cool. I'll be like,
oh yeah,
Roger X, over and Oaks. You know what I mean? Like a stormtrooper. Those little earbuds, everyone wears them because you can't see them and stuff. And I'm sure they're, but man, I swear, like if you catch something on the tip, pop right out. So I don't fuck with them. But if I have to, I can use them because they're here. So, anyways, I'm glad your crisis was averted. That's cool. So tonight, what are we going to talk about tonight, man? I think we're going to mix it up. I'm feeling a little. I don't know, a little. I'm not sure the word. I'm feeling a little. Not anxious, but a little spiteful. I'm feeling like a little, I don't want to pick a fight, but I want to fire a few warning shots. You know what I'm thinking? No, nothing major. It's just, we'll talk about this, some shit that's happened the last week or two in the indie community. And I want to go over that map that I made that you saw.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one person who see it. You got a sneak peek of it. For anyone who watches this stream later, because the majority of the viewers seem to be after the fact. So anyone who watches this and they don't know what the fuck we're talking about when it comes to the indie comic community, I think this map, as far as I can tell, this is a great way to explain it. And you know what? What I thought of is like post it to Twitter, but dude, that's inviting a shitstorm of, you know what I'm saying? Not only the fucking people who can't draw a goddamn stick figure will critique it. Oh, that's not right. This is too small. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if I want a lot of attention, negative and maybe positive, maybe I should post that map and say, so I should just tweet like something very vague, something like up for what is it? I totally forgot what I was going to say when I was going to tweet it. So it's a good thing I didn't tweet it because I forgot. Oh, I was going to say something like up for interpretation. You know what I mean? Like, you interpret this however the fuck you want to interpret it. I'm just laying it out here. But that's like inviting problems that I don't want to invite problems. Yes, oh, dude. Don't you think? Is that a wise move not to post it?
Well, I mean,
well, you would because you like causing trouble. I'd see the shit you fucking get into with people. You jump on those threads, and there you got tons of like, but you got 20 fucking people under you saying, "You fucking asshole, you fucking suck." It's funny. Good for you.
Well, I mean, you'll never please everybody,
right?
But you can piss everybody off. So.
Yeah. I guess I'm worried about the accuracy because again, it's just my interpretation. This is how I understand things. Like, I remember when I started working in corporate ages ago, the only way I'm like corporate office building, suit and tie bullshit. You know what I mean? Like politically correct, etc. And
proper and business oriented.
Total. I mean, I know you probably can't picture me that way, but believe me, I got photos of me, and it's weird. But it was also a different time back then. I mean, and now are there even offices? I don't even fucking know. It's like everything is home based and internet based in this. And
we all
like
gotta put on different costumes to get paid sometimes, you know.
Like I know lawyers, lawyers still wear suits, but like your average office worker, I don't think they do. I think it's all casual. It's weird.
Dude, years ago, I played a musical a metal show,
mm-hmm.
and the vocalist of one of the bands was a black metal band.
Cool.
I don't know if you know what black metal is.
Yeah.
It's a very like dark gothic satanic type of music. They like spikes and paint their face, and they're all about pentagrams and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And the vocalist, his name was Baphomet. That was what everyone called him. They're like, "Yo, Baphomet, what's up, man?" He's
funny.
Interesting vocalist guy. And he was actually, when he wasn't on stage being Baphomet, the front man for this satanic black metal band,
right?
He was the head chef at a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, isn't that funny? That's funny.
Yeah, he when he clocked in, he put on the full white suit, white hat, all that stuff.
Was he an actual Satanist or was that all an act?
Oh yeah, he's a real Satanist.
Oh, okay.
He's decked out in all the tattoos, but when he's in that full white, chef suit, you can't see none of that.
Yeah, because it can go either way. Because I remember you got to remember, I kind of missed out on the actual shit in the 70s, but like the 80s is where, like Kiss was still around, Alice Cooper, a lot of that shit. And in the 80s, I've talked about this before about the Bible bangers and the whole Christian movement and all this shit. And everyone was convinced Alice Cooper was satanic, and Ozzy bit the head off of bats, and he worshiped the devil. And Kiss stood for either kings in Satan's service or knights in Satan's service. I heard both. Dungeons and Dragons was satanic. They call it the Satanic Panic. The Satanic Panic. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was the 80s. I don't know if it started in the 70s. I think it was the 80s because 80s is where everything got conservative. You think of Reagan, Schwarzenegger, they were huge in the 80s. So everything's kind of conservative and Christian. And that's why I think this whole satanic panic started to come about. And it affected.
That's why all the horror movies were the way they were.
Yeah. And that's probably why I was inspired as a kid to do what I'm fucking doing now. Because I was never into this in my teens, 20s, and early 30s. And then all of a sudden it just clicked. And I'm like, this whole, heaven, God, angels, Satan, demons. I'm like, these are two fucking armies. This would be bad as shit if they went to actual war physically and we could watch it or be involved in it. I'm like, this would be the most epic fucking battle ever in history. And then I'm like, why hasn't fucking anyone done this? And that began the research. And no one's done it. I still can't believe it. And you're good with books and shit. I swear to God, dude, I should offer like a bounty. I should be like $100 cash to anyone who can find anything that resembles,
I would say if you go that route, you're just throwing money away because somewhere out there, there's always that thing you're looking for.
But that I want to find it because
Okay.
I searched, and I'm not saying like, oh, I searched for an hour one night. No, like for a week or two. I mean, I searched from everything from newspaper comics, like in the Sunday comics when I was a kid, to comics, to novels, to film, to television, like every media possible. I'm like an army of angels, an army of demons battling, you know.
Did you ever see the film? It was based off of a comic series called Constantine.
Okay, there was a movie, right? With
Yeah.
Kenny Reeves or something?
Yep.
I have no clue about anything else except that. I know it was a movie and that's it. I didn't even see it.
Oh man,
I should see it, right?
you
'Cause it's pretty
absolutely
fucked up.
should.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
there we go. Write that on my list.
Well, if there's anything you take from this whole live stream, it's you should go see
Watch
Constantine.
Constantine?
Yeah.
Okay. There
Trust
we go.
me.
Got my next movie.
And, I think they're trying to maybe even do a second one, see if that's
cool.
work out. But the first one's a cult classic. You definitely should check it out.
And that's what I've heard of it. I think I got it confused with that Van Helsing with what's his face, fucking Wolverine shooting.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. I because I didn't see that either. And I thought Constantine was like Van Helsing or something, and it's not, right? It's a lot different.
It's totally different.
So I should see Constantine because Van Helsing, that okay,
A lot of
Monster
people
Hunter.
In the movie Constantine, Satan makes an appearance.
Really?
And most people think that that's the greatest Satan depiction
Really?
ever in film.
No
A
shit.
lot of people love it. So
Because my favorite is Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate. I think no one beats that because it's so believable, and he never admits he's Satan. He never once, even when asked. Did you ever see that movie?
Mm-mm.
Devil's Advocate. Oh, okay. Well, so I watched Constantine. You watched fucking Devil's Advocate. How could you be on this show and know me and not watch Devil's Advocate? Jesus Christ, dude. What about Seven? Have you seen Seven?
no, I told you I haven't seen Seven.
I know. I thought maybe you watched it since that. Okay, that's fine. Well, there's two fucking movies you got to watch, dude. That's like okay, for me, it's Exorcist, Seven, Devil's Advocate. When it comes to my idea of horror and what I'm into, but Devil's Advocate, a lot of people have said Pacino. One, they said it's one of his best roles. It's his most underrated role because it's true. You don't really you think of him from the blind guy in whatever fucking movie that was, Son of a Woman or Scarface or whatever. You don't think of him as Satan in as a lawyer in downtown New York City. But I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking awesome. He is fucking awesome because he's like, dude, I found myself agreeing with him almost through the whole movie. And I'm just like, this says a lot about me. I know this isn't good. You know what I mean? But I was with my girlfriend at the time, and she kind of was joking. And she's like, no, obviously we're not Satanists and we don't agree with Satan. He's making a point. You just have to watch the movie because what he's talking about is society and basically how fucked up we are. And it's, everything he talks about is true, dude. It's true.
If there's ever I guess I can't say if there's ever a depiction, but I mean, like, generally speaking, there's nothing that the devil should say that you should like disagree with on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that comes out of his mouth is supposed to be the greatest deceptions possible.
Exactly.
So
Deceptive,
anything he says to anyone, it's supposed to just click and be like,
right.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, if you see this movie, you'll I'm telling you, dude, you'll be like, it's almost scary because see, the other thing is Devil's Advocate came out, I think it was 1997. And we saw it one night, like we'd always see midnight showings in San Francisco, this ex-girlfriend of mine. And God damn, that was a good movie. We saw a midnight showing and we were just like, this is fucking awesome. And there is so much shit, but it's pre-millennium. And he even brings up the millennium. He says he's preparing for the millennium and all this shit because, that was the big change is when the year 2000 came about and everything was going to go to shit. And of course, nothing happened, But anyways, but before that, I thought the best depiction of Satan was not Al Pacino, the other guy, De Niro in Angel Heart. Did you ever see Angel Heart? That's an old movie. That's like 80s. Okay.
No.
Angel Heart is a fucked up movie. In fact, I'd have to watch it again. It's probably been 20 fucking years since I've watched it. But it's in the 80s. So Mickey Rourke is a young, good looking Mickey Rourke. He's not all fucked up and old like he is now. It was back when he was a sex symbol, you know? So Mickey Rourke is a detective. And of course it takes place in the South, like the fucking bayou and all that shit. You know what I mean? So already the setting's dirty and creepy and weird. You know what I mean? And there's this chick named Lisa Bonet, who was the oldest daughter on the Cosby Show in the 80s. And she does a really graphic adult scene in this movie. And I remember people were so offended and freaked out and everything because it's like
daughter is, you know,
the oldest daughter in the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
And here, dude, she's flat out. I mean, it's hardcore. And actually, that probably gave me the idea for the scenes in my book because a similar thing happens in that. And I'll just leave it at that. But you should watch Angel Heart. Definitely Devil's Advocate first. Don't watch fucking anything until you get Devil's Advocate. And then Angel Heart is another good one because it was a good one. But Robert De Niro plays the devil, and he looks more devilish than like Al Pacino in Devil's Advocate. And he's more creepy. You know, he has like long nails and shit and fucking like a cane with a skull. You know, it's very, you know what I mean? But even he almost speaks in not riddles, but like, it's like, what do you call it? It's like beating around the bush. They're never, what am I trying to say, man?
It's a little more
direct.
poetic.
It's like poetic. It's never direct. Like if you said, "Are you Satan?" He would say, "Well, some people have called me similar things to that." That would be the answer. There's no fucking yes or no. There's no yes. I'm Satan. You know, it's always
he talks like a politician.
Yes, and that is again where the idea for my shit came because I'm like, this is what politicians do. And then once you start, you know, finding out corruption,
yes or no.
And they're such liars, and they're all fucking. Not all, most of them are corrupt, and the sex scandals, and fucking pedophiles, and orgies, all this fucked up shit. You know, you're like, okay, this is a story I can do. You know what I mean? But anyways, there you go. So 2 movies, I'd say Devil's Advocate and Angel Heart, if you're into that kind of thing. How the fuck did we get here, Tyler? I was going to talk about indie comics, and we're talking about Satan. You see, loop me back, brother. How did we get here?
You started talking about, we started talking about demons and devil and stuff. That's so I don't know where.
Constantine. Okay, here we go. We're reeling back. We're backtracking. We're going back out of the fog to the path. This happens to me all the fucking time. So Constantine. Okay, so I will get Constantine, and what else? I don't fucking know. So, anyways,
we was talking about you wanted to fire off shots and.
Oh yeah,
I'm
feeling a little anxious today. No, but yeah, this whole indie comics thing. And again, you're a novelist, but you kind of you watch from the outside, don't you? You kind of know who's who, don't you?
Yeah. Because for me, a lot of people who are in the indie comic sphere. They have a lot of problems with the mainline comics because
mainline being Marvel, like Marvel and DC kind of shit. Mainstream comics,
like the big 2 and
right,
you know, the others around that area.
Yeah,
everything's been kind of hijacked by the woke messaging, and so a lot of the indie people are, the fact that there is an indie thing in general, it is just kind of a reactionary to that.
Right.
But for me, because I'm in novels, there's not even an indie, there's lots of indie authors, but there's no like indie community. There's no novel gate kind of thing.
Right.
And the whole novel industry is like 5 times more woke than anything comic book related.
I've
it's
skimmed it, and you're right. From what I've seen, I wouldn't want to even deal with those fucking people, dude. The only bonus is it's mostly women, and so I'm like, oh, that's cool, But if they're woke women or they're lesbians, it's like, okay, well, yeah. But
the point I was getting at is the reason I'm on the outside of the whole indie comic thing and keeping my eye on it is because it's the only possible avenue I have of trying to enter a circle and find possible readers, is because there's nothing like that in novels.
Well,
anything novel related, it's just all women and feminist, and
yeah, it sucks, dude. I've seen
there's just nothing I can do.
I can kind of weave 2 subjects together here concerning you, actually, in your situation, in your book. I think one, you're right, because, and I mean, I'm talking like literally once or twice I've peeked in on a, like someone will post, hey, author, whatever, what's the terms they use? Boost. Oh, author boost, or whatever the fucking slang when they post, what I'm talking about?
Just
writer's lift, and then 500 fucking people post their novels and shit. And I've peeked into it, and yeah, dude, it is 3 out of 4 women. And again, that's cool. I'm like, oh wow, this is where all the fucking women are on Twitter. You know what I mean? No, it's if it ain't fucking romance like shit, it's fucking woke shit, or like you said, feminist shit. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay.
For novels, like the main taboos of straight white
males,
they're all just kisses of death. No. And when you start adding them on top of each other, it's even worse.
Ugh.
So if I came on there, with my face, my voice
from Virginia, yeehaw,
and I was like,
wear a Confederate flag T-shirt.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if I come on there with my face, my voice, and I'm like, by the way, y'all, I'm gay as fuck.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, no, you're also white.
Then it's cool.
So get out of here.
Oh, seriously, they wouldn't even that. So you got, not only can't you just
that's
be
what I'm
gay.
Saying. Yeah,
Wow.
they're like, yeah, you're gay, that's cool, but you're also a man and you're white, so fuck off.
Well, fuck them.
Or if I came on and I was like, I could be a black dude. I could be a gay black dude.
Yeah.
But I want to tell a story about a man protagonist, the lead character is a man.
Right.
And he's saving the day, and he's saving a woman, and he's in love with a woman. So the main love interest is heterosexual.
Really?
No. Can't do that.
Dude, that is worse. That is so much worse than comics. I mean, at least comics still have some straight male superheroes and leads. Like, it's peppered with fucking gays and every minority badgeable wheelchair, every other fucking thing. But it's like, you know what I mean?
I mentioned in one of the past videos I did with you, there was this one guy, he gave his testimony. He was a gay man, or is a gay man, but he wrote a story where his love interest was heterosexual. And the story wasn't a romance. It was like a sci-fi action story.
Right.
That just so happened to have a woman that the main character is crushing on and tries to hook up with by the end of the story. But that's not what the story's about. It's about like lasers and ships and all this crazy stuff. It's a guy's story.
Right.
So happens the author is gay in his personal life.
Right.
Well, he was trying to publish the traditional route, and they wouldn't publish them. They were like, you need to come out and market this as a gay man.
Oh my God.
It is, you're just your name, and that's not going to sell. We got to get you at being the gay guy, basically.
That's fucked up, dude.
And they wanted to change the love interest and make it gay.
Of course.
They didn't like the fact the male protagonist was hooking up with a woman.
Jesus.
And they wanted to rewrite basically the whole story so that the romance was the story. It was going to be a romance that just so happened to involve space.
Wow.
And he's like, you just ruining my whole story, destroying it. And then, like, because he sent off his manuscript and trying to, like, that let them read it, and like, this is what I got to work with. Is this something interesting? And they're like, nah, we can't do anything with that.
Jesus.
And then it was like, I guess several months later or whatever. But someone got in contact with them, and they were like, oh yeah, check this out. It features this detail, and this detail, and this detail. And he's like, that's my story.
Wow.
So they
no
stole
way.
his fucking story.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It's just whatever.
That sucks.
Man.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare. All right. Well, then you're definitely doing the right thing. So
that's why I pay attention to all the comic stuff, because at least I can see some bros talking about something sort of interesting.
Okay, so that leads me to the next thread that I'm gonna weave in here for you, try to help you with your direction. Okay, so yeah, you're a novelist, but you're scouting out the indie comic scene. Believe it or not, I know of one person. I follow him, and he follows me. We don't really interact, but in my book, he's cool. He's a comic skater, and he's in there. He's proud. You know what I mean? But his name's B.A. Turner. Okay, B.A. Turner. It's interesting. I don't have his. I didn't back his project, but he's a writer. He's not an artist. He's a writer, and his I think he's only had one campaign, his first big campaign, and it did well. It was thousands. He's been. I mean, it's been. God damn, I think he's.
Do you happen to remember? Over a year. Do you happen to remember what the project was?
I just know there's a gargoyle on the front.
Okay. I think I've seen the. I think I've
probably
seen
have. Fuck, what is the name of it? It's a weird name.
I don't remember the name, but
it's like the name doesn't go with. It's like weird. It's like, yeah, it's like I'd have to look it up. But anyways, B.A. Turner is his name. He's the writer, and he has whatever artists do the fucking art. What it is, it's not. It's like. It's a novel, and it's like long. It's 300 page, 500. It's a fucking novel. Okay, so it's a novel, right? But with it, and again, I'd have to go back and look at it. I could be wrong. My memory is fucked up sometimes. But from what I recall, in addition to the novel, and there's the cover and but it's like I think a mini comic as well. So he got the artist to do, I don't know. I don't even know how fucking long it could be 5 pages, could be 10 pages, could be 20 pages. But he calls it a mini comic from what I remember. So his campaign, he had his novel with 300, 400, 500 pages, whatever the fuck it was. And then with it, like a mini comic. You know what I mean? And his campaign did well. And he got on Ethan's show, and he was one of these guys pushing it. He was bugging fucking everyone to come on their show. And I said, that's what you have to do. That's what I do not do. And that's why my campaigns are very small. The people who are aggressive like that, they do well. And he's just that kind of guy. He's just very aggressive that way. And it paid off because it's
hard to be passive and a salesman.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a better salesman in person.
I'm selling. Buy it if you want. It's all right, I guess.
I'm better in person. I mean, the majority of the people who backed my first book were people I knew in person. You know what I mean? And it wasn't necessarily like friends of mine. It was strangers that I met or was referred to or talked to, and they did it. It's like I'm a better salesman in person than I am on the fucking internet. And I've even had a couple people tell me that. And so I'm like, okay, wow, this sucks. So I'm trying to figure out how to be a better salesman on the internet. But anyways, B.A. Turner, you may want to check him out or his stuff or something, because it was just the one campaign. And dude, I think I know it's over a year, but it's like it's storefront, so you can like get your copy tonight if you want. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like he had his campaign, it was successful, and storefront, and so combined. I think combined both campaigns, I think he hit 10 grand or maybe a little more. I'm not exactly sure, but he did good, and he's doing good. I think he's coming out with the second, but I thought it was cool because it was different than everything else, because he is a novelist like you, but he's like, I guess like you, he's like, he must have realized what you realized with the whole novelist shit and said, there's no way I have a chance here. So how can I get people to get this? And so he adapted, it sounds like, to comics. You know what I mean? So he's like, well, I'll throw in a mini comic. So technically there's a comic with my book. You know what I mean? So that kind of thing with you is what I'm thinking.
Have you ever heard of a YouTuber named or a channel called The Fourth Age? No.
The Fourth Age.
Fourth Age. It's he produces these comics.
Valiant. I do know that though.
But there's
Valiant. Yeah.
So I can get that Fourth Age logo in there.
Okay.
It's kind of in there, but anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Cool.
Okay. Anyway, the guy's name is RJ. I think he's Scottish.
RJ what?
I don't know.
We'll look it up
in here somewhere.
Because there's an RJ.
RJ Shaw.
RJ what?
RJ Shaw.
Oh, okay. I know an RJ, but his last name isn't Shaw. Okay.
He's the writer. Okay. But this guy who makes these comics, he was trying to get into novel writing.
Yeah.
And that was his whole thing. But he realized, I guess like a decade ago, that even back then, like there's just no way that, because he considers himself a conservative.
Okay.
And he's like obsessed with like Western culture and philosophy, like from thousands of years ago. Like you watch his channels, that's all he talks about. And anyway, so with his worldview, he was like, there's no way I'm going to get any type of signing deal in novels. He's like, well, maybe I could do a comic. That seems like a way I can actually, use my creative juices to make something in this world.
Right.
And so that's why he went into it.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, again, I think you're right in doing this. And I know, and that's again, what's cool is, not along with your cover art, but where you have the black and white illustrations every few pages helps, and like I've told you before, I said, I wish more novelists did this because to me, illustrations in a book help so fucking much. In fact, let me see if I can get your cover.
I would have liked to have more. I would have liked having more artwork in the books, but it's I got to pay someone to make it all. So
well, again, that's where I could help you out. It's too bad. You see that all right?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, whoops, not the map yet. Where's your cover? There it is. So this is your cover of the book, right?
Well, it's not like the cover, but it's going to be artwork that will be featured on the cover.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so and this is cool because it's colored. It looks like a painting,
That'll be that artwork will take up like the bottom 2/3 of the cover. Above it will be just
title
black.
Above.
Yeah, with the titles.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then now how many? I haven't actually like flipped through your whole book. I literally am like just going page per page. How many illustrations total on your book? You think?
In the
I've seen one so far. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got the weapons and the map at the start.
Yeah, that was the start, and then I'm at the one illustration of the demon
main guy. Yeah. So, there's that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7.
Cool.
Oh, 8. There's 8 images
in a 315 page book.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it's pretty spaced out.
20, 30 pages. Yeah. Good. That's cool. Okay, cool.
Ultimately,
I was hoping it wasn't just 1 or 2. I'm like, man, I hope it's over 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. because that's the thickest book in the series, I put a little, I try to get more. Originally in my mind, I was like, I'll try to do like 5 images per book. But I was like, that book's thicker. I could put more in it.
More.
And then I got thinner books, and I was like, these books are really thin. Do I really need to put all 5 in here? But I actually did put like a lot in them.
Yeah,
the
that's cool.
Book, there's 3 images in.
Okay.
But I wanted to. The main thing I wanted to do with the images was, instead of rattling off all these details about, oh, this guy's got long hair, this guy's got horns, and then trying to describe there's 2 of them and they curve this way. And
right.
I just show you, and then you'll know.
Yeah. The whole picture's worth 1,000 words thing, like I said. Yeah.
Yeah. And then pretty much not all, but most of my images are less about showing a scene or a situation of like fighting or something. Although I do, show that. Yeah. The main focus I'm trying to show with the artwork is the characters.
Right.
And so I'm trying to find every important character in the story, and I'm like, all right, this is an important character. I need at least one image showing this character. So anytime we're talking about this character, people have something to visualize how they look. Right.
And that's nouns, people, places, and things. I do the same thing. To me, even again, graphic novels, comics are different because everything's fucking illustrated. But what I told you, the novel I was working on 20 years ago, whatever, I was going to do the same thing, mostly character illustrations, because the characters, I think, are one of the most important things in the story, And again, like the demon character, you could have an entire page describing him in text, what I mean? If you really want to get detailed. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but I would have to. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not supposed to do it and I want to do it, well, I need to fucking draw him then. And so you insert him, and then people can see how complicated that character is. And like you said with my characters, where they're covered with straps and buckles and jewelry and shiny things and fucking all this shit on them. Like you said, could you imagine me describing that? Dude, that'd be like a chapter. Chapter 1, character introduction, 1 character. And then the next chapter, here's the next character. You know what I mean? So a picture takes care of all that shit. You know what I mean? Places. If it's a typical forest, you don't need to fucking draw it. Everyone knows what the fucking forest looks like, or a desert. But if it's unique, if there's something weird, if it's a desert and all the rocks are shaped like fucking spears or made of crystal, or something unique about the place, the environment, the setting, then I would say an illustration. Okay, like perfect example, like the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring film. The Rivendell, the elves, the waterfalls, and all that shit, the bridge, that's a fucking illustration. Yeah, you can describe, okay, this forest and cliffs and a bridge. But again, there's going to be a page long. I mean, it's going to be a long description. One picture of that forest and the like the canyon, the valley, the bridge to the city and the tree. I mean, dude, right there, one fucking picture does it. So that's place. And then the last is things, objects, which is weapons, armor, artifacts, whatever the fuck it is, a doorway. That's cool for illustrations too. And that's about it. Like when it comes to events like a battle, that's what your description's for. You know what I mean? And like so far what I've read with yours, there's only been that one battle where the dude basically kills all the horses. You know what I mean? You get it. You don't have to go nuts with the description. You know what I mean? Because there's not a whole lot you need to describe. You know what I mean? And a picture would be like a waste, because it's like, well, you can describe this in 1 or 2 paragraphs. A picture to me is something that requires more than a paragraph. You know, like I said, this what's the name of the demon character? I forget.
The main character is named Jallico.
Jallico. as you can see, I mean, I could describe him in a full page. It would take a page to describe him because I'd go over the colors and the details and all the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like with that first image, it's like I was saying, the point of that image, I could have had the first image be, I could have had like the guy on the horse from the side, like he's riding this away.
Right.
And then have him like this, and then have just a blur, maybe just like Jalico's head and maybe his shoulders with a sword or something, but the rest of it's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Him going under the horse, and then the legs being separated.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would show action. Ooh, exciting, violence.
But, and dude, if you were doing a comic, I'd say sure, but not for a novel. You don't need it for a novel.
But for what I'm trying to do, it's like, yeah, that shows action, but that doesn't show us what people need to see, which is this character. And so that's why the first image of my first book, it shows the main character standing in a static stance, just with his swords drawn as he's blocking the road.
Blocking the route when they're coming towards him.
They're coming down a path, and he's blocking the path.
And again, that's kind of two birds with one stone, because one, you see the character, but two, it's an actual action that's taking place. He's standing in the middle of the road blocking the horses and riders coming his way. You know what I mean? So again, I did the same fucking thing, dude. It's like your book is so much, you write the same fucking way I do. It's amazing. It's weird.
There was some moments, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like I kind of explained before, I had to write all the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew specifically where I wanted to add the images, because I didn't want to just have a random character or a random image of like the character sipping some tea or something.
Right.
It's like, what does that have to do with the story?
Exactly.
That's not in the text.
Yeah.
So every image has to depict some type of scene in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed those scenes written out before I could pay my artist to draw the images.
Right.
But there were some cases, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there were some cases where, because I drew every one of these images, like this one we're looking at, and the one inside the book, I drew them all to the best of my ability, so that I could then take a picture of it and then send it to the artist.
The artist, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be like, all right, so this is basically the image I want.
Right.
Even if it was in some of the earlier ones, it was basically just rough-looking stick figure kind of thing in positions.
Yeah.
But I had a separate image that was a more detailed drawing, which was just a character design.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have the character design of this character and this character.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, all right, so these are the two characters in the image.
Right.
And then I would show my crafty stick figure drawing of them fighting or something. And I'm like, and this is what I want, basically. And he's like, okay, got it. And then he'd go in and draw. And
now, where's your art? Is your artist out of the country?
Yeah. For the internal illustrations, he was from India.
Wow. Okay, that's right.
And this cover artist, what we're looking at on screen, he was from Indonesia.
Jesus, it's so amazing. It's like, yeah. Well, anyways, like I've told you this before. I know your books are done. Oh, actually, that's a question. Your books are done, but are you still editing? Like, are you?
Yeah, I'm still.
Would you edit them? Or are you like set on this is it? You know what I mean?
I'm going through doing some final editing. It's called line editing. So I'm just going through and making sure the wording is right, checking any little grammatical errors here and there.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the last polishing step.
Gotcha.
So
no major retyping a whole sentence or something. It's all just little corrections.
Well, sometimes there are some things like that where I might add a whole sentence or something. There was like one instance in one of the books I was just reading where I realized the last paragraph, or like two paragraphs, I think, of a chapter, it was the first paragraph of a new chapter. And I was like, this sucks. It needs to be at the end of the last chapter. So I
Right.
just shifted it over.
That's
Stuff
cool.
like that.
That's cool.
I
was because I don't want to get too detailed or whatever. I don't want to get too nitpicky reading your shit when we talk. When I read 5 pages and then I'm like, hey, because if you're not editing shit, I'm like, well then fuck, I'm just gonna read it and be like, yep, I get it, or I'm confused, and that's about it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try to fucking edit. You know what I mean?
For what we're trying to do, I'm just wanting you to read through it.
Okay.
And just as a reader, that's why I said you're just a beta reader.
My default is an editor. I swear to God, because I've done this. People have just fucking 2 years ago. A friend of mine was starting to write a book, and he sent me the whatever. It was short. It was actually a short story, like 30 pages or something. And dude, I took the red pen out and shit. I mean, I was like seriously editing like a fucking teacher. You know what I mean? And it took a while because it was all fucked up. He went from past tense to present tense to future tense, like for he basically didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He's just telling this weird fucking story. And I'm just like, after a few pages, I'm like, I'm done. This is a mess. I don't want to tell him it's a mess, but it's a fucking mess. You know what I mean? And of course, he never finished it and pursued it. But it was just like, ooh. But that's my default, is to edit. I swear to God. It's like if I get someone's work and it's not completely finished, I'm like, and it's not like me being a dick. It's like I want to help. And it's like if I spot something, whether it's simply a spelling error or whatever, I'll simply say, hey, and again, it's up to you to change it. I don't give a fuck. It's your book, not mine. You know what I mean? But I won't do that with yours. With you, I will just read the fucking thing and let you know, if it's if it makes sense or not.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to get someone to read through the whole thing and
all right, cool.
Just tell me if they like it or not. And
all right, that's it. That makes my job easier because I was kind of really studying, like when I was reading every page, I'm like studying every paragraph for structure and all that. And I'm like, okay, I won't do that. I'll just fucking read it. I'll save me time.
Yeah, like the main, like I've had a person read it already, and this was a woman who was kind of like a lefty feminist kind of person.
Oh boy.
And I was like, I need someone like that to check it out.
Yeah,
because if I have someone, let's say there's a person who really loves the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Okay. Maybe they love Lord of the Rings. They've read the books and they're all about it.
Right.
And they read my book and they're like, this is terrible. I'm going to be like, that's great. Now I know that people like Lord of the Rings, they're not going to like my book. So I know to not target that market. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
Or
it's got manga all over it, right? I mean, that's marketing, right? Manga.
Yeah. So like if someone likes, if someone's all into, anime and they're like into manga and all this, and they think it's great, I'm like, this is great. This is good. Yeah. This is a good thing because that's kind of what I'm targeting.
Right.
But if someone's all about Dragon Ball Z and you know, all this, and they're like, this book sucks, man. I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Because that's your audience you're looking for.
Yeah, and then there could be someone who loves the Twilight novel series,
right?
Which is all romance and kind of gothica or whatever.
Yeah,
and wolves and vampires and all this. Totally not my story. Right. But if someone really likes Twilight and they're just like, this book is so good. Wow, I'm so like, this book is wonderful and I love the characters. Yeah. I'm going to be very shocked. I'm like, I can't believe someone who likes that stuff is appealing. Like, I guess I've got some cross market appeal here. Okay. Right. I didn't think I needed to worry about targeting those people, but maybe I need to, I might need to slip some books in their direction. I might need to advertise towards the Twilight people. Who knew? Yeah. So it's not like a thing where if you come to me and you're like, yeah, Tyler, I read your book. It's pretty crappy. It's the worst thing I've ever read. I'm going to be like, okay, well, guys who like horror movies might not be
Yeah.
into my
Right. I hear you. Now the other thing, because like you said about how you know the whole comic community, and like I said, first off, it's comics, not novels, but there's kind of a way around that. However, the next obstacle for you is you're not crowdfunding; you're selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone in the indie comics community that doesn't crowdfund and go straight to Amazon. In fact, the people that just flat out that don't crowdfund and they sell their book, they have their own website, or I don't even know what the fuck Ko-Fi is. What is Ko-Fi? K-O-F-I dot whatever. Do you know what that is?
I've never heard of it.
Really? It's all over accounts on Twitter. Ko-Fi.com. It's more, I think it must be an artist thing. Like, because that's like art, like just artists, you know what I mean? They're not writers, they just do artwork.
Okay.
Ko-Fi, I see like crazy. And what else? I don't fucking know, but there's like 2 or 3 sites, links I keep seeing over and over with everybody. So again, but the whole point is that's your next obstacle. If you're not crowdfunding, the indie comics community is all about crowdfunding. And like I said, it's the biggest is Kickstarter, and then Indiegogo, and then FundMyComic. So if you're not dealing with them and you're selling from Amazon, it may be even harder to get involved with the comics industry because 1, you're a novelist, not a comic thing, and 2, you're not crowdfunding. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of giving you warnings of, hey, it may be tough to deal with this shit when it comes to the indie comics community.
Well, on Amazon, there's people who just go on there and they buy books.
Right.
And with Amazon, there's a feature similar to YouTube where there are recommendations depending on what you've looked at and what you've purchased.
Okay.
So, you watch a YouTube video about car crashes. Then
Right.
suddenly in your recommendations, there's all these car crash videos, stuff like that. So if you buy, this novel or that novel, or you're looking at these, I'm like, maybe I'm looking at a book about Japanese samurai or whatever, And as I'm scrolling down, there might be like, it'll say like, you might also like this, this book, and it could show my book. Right. And then there's also ad space that you can purchase. You can do whole ad segments on Amazon. So it just pops up there. I'm pretty sure I can target areas. So like, I'm in Virginia. So if I wanted to, I could just make all my ads show up on people who are searching in Virginia.
Right.
Stuff like that.
That's cool.
And there's also taglines. So you can look up, let's say you go to Amazon and you search samurai book. Search.
Right.
And it'll pop up, something like 7,000 results. Yeah. So there'll be like 7,000 things that popped up with samurai book. The goal, what you want to do is you want to find taglines that have small results. Okay. So if you look up something like dinosaur coloring book, there's probably like 5 million results. Yeah. Wow. So if I'm making a dinosaur coloring book, the chances of me getting noticed are pretty much impossible. Wow. There's so many different books like that. Yeah. Literally, people just go into AI and just have them generated.
Wow, that sucks.
There's like AI generate 50 pages of dinosaur coloring book or coloring pages, and then boom, there's your pages. Upload it to your thing, put it on your Amazon page, and easy money.
That's nuts.
That's called.
That doesn't even sound fun. Like I wouldn't want to fucking do that. I don't care if it's easy money. It's like that sounds boring as fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, what creative? Those people are just making money. What they do is they make like 60, 70 what they call low content. Yeah. Or is it low content? Low energy? Well, I can't remember. But anyway, they just make these simple books, and then, a common one is notebooks. There's nothing in it. It's
blank. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you just make a
Have
bundle
a cool
of,
cover. Yeah.
a cool looking cover and 20 blank pages, and then people, going back
Well,
to school, they just
I
buy those
mean,
books. Same with like
practical.
calendars, shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you
All
can
right.
just
That's
go
cool.
into AI.
Well, but again, my point is okay. So once you're selling on Amazon, how are you going to promote yourself to the indie comics community?
Well, with that, I'll probably contact different YouTube creators
Okay.
and just directly be like, "Hey, I'll sponsor your video." And so just contact them that way and give them a nice little financial incentive
Right.
to mention my book,
Right.
or
Okay.
I'm planning on doing a YouTube ad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have a trailer for my book.
Cool.
I mentioned to that. I
Yeah.
plan on doing it. So if I go that route, then I'm pretty sure I can set it so that my ads would feature on certain topics. So
Okay.
I could just set it for like comics or
Yeah.
indie comics.
Yeah.
Or manga.
But you're not planning on doing like what I'm doing, or are you? Like, you see me, I post, oh, Sunday, fucking show me what you're working on day. And then all of us fucking post our shit.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing any of that.
Okay. Cause that's basically what the independent comics guys do. I mean, that's like, there's like two ways. It's like going on fucking YouTube or that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it.
That's just too social for me.
Too social. That's funny, dude. It's funny. It's not social at all, really. It's competitive. It sucks. It's like no one likes each other's shit because they're all trying to fucking get noticed. You know what I mean? It reminds me of fucking like a goddamn beauty contest. It's like you got all these fucking chicks who are trying to win, and they sure as fuck are not going to be nice to each other because it's competitive. You know what I mean? And that's to me what the indie comics community is. It's like everyone wants their book to be the best and raise more money and all this stuff. So why the fuck are they gonna help me? You know what I mean? And that's just what I've seen. And I've been watching this shit for over 3 fucking years, and I've been involved in it for at least 2 years, and you don't get much help at all. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. Where is it at? Hold on. I brought a bunch of my comics in here. This guy, Chrome Dog.
Oh yeah,
Chrome
yeah.
Dog around?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, well I got Chrome Dog. I'm a paying customer. I've got the book. I've left many comments. I'm pretty sure I follow Mr. Chrome Dog's creator.
Yeah.
But he has.
Is that Luke Stone?
I don't know, but
look, I think it's Luke Stone.
He has nothing really to do with me. He doesn't.
Well, wait. Well, start reading some names because I know them all, dude. Read some names.
What do you mean?
See if Luke Stone is in that book.
This is from Arrow Comics.
Okay, that's the company. So who are the people? Like the credit page.
Created by Justin K. Sweet.
Okay.
Written by Justin K. Sweet.
Okay.
Pencil and inks by Luke Stone.
You know who Luke Stone is?
No.
He's a creator of FundMyComic.
Okay.
The website, the crowdfunding platform that I am on, the only one I've used so far, that's Luke Stone.
Well, the book's cool. I don't have anything negative to say about it.
No, it's cool. He
come out with a second, I'll get it.
He's an artist and a crowdfunder, but he's the one that started FundMyComic. So obviously he's going to promote his stuff as well because he's crowdfunding as well. He's a good guy. I believe he's a preacher. I don't want to say too much because I swear to God, if I'm wrong, people get pissed off about this shit. I think he's a preacher.
This guy's probably a preacher.
Who's that?
This is the Remnant.
Who's the name?
I don't know who created.
See, I don't know titles. I only know names, man. I'm better with people than their products.
Don't actually say it on the inner cover. That's surprising. Yeah, it's just shout out about the world.
Okay.
But it's Gworek Comics.
Okay. What about the back?
Let me check the back. No, it's just more advertisements.
Weird.
Yeah, let me check one. Hold on, I got another one here.
Okay.
Let's see. Who are you? Okay. Words by Bill Rayup. Art by Olin Orig. This is a bunch of names I can't pronounce.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it neither.
I ain't even trying that last one.
Luke Stone's a good guy. He's a family man. He's a preacher, but he's the one that started and runs
Hey, this one's
FundMyComic.
signed, by the way.
That's cool. There you go. So if you said you have no interaction with Luke?
I mean, I told you I share the I've shared this stuff around several times. I dropped many comments, said all types of positive things, and I'm pretty sure I've sent photos saying, "Hey, got the book," and they're like, "Cool, here's a like," and shit like that. But you know, the point I was getting at is kind of what you were saying. I give people shout outs, and I try to be social. Yeah, and then you know they tend to not be very social towards me.
No, what do you call it? Response. No
reciprocation.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome.
But I mean, to be fair, at this point, I'm not advertising anything.
Yeah,
I'm not saying buy my book. You know, so maybe when that day comes and I'm like, oh, by the way, everybody, I got this book for sale. Suddenly, all these people will come out the woodwork and be like, yo, this guy's great. He's a good guy. He's got a book. Buy it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I hope. We can only hope. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Well, again, I was just kind of curious for myself as in how are you going to try to integrate your books into the indie comics community, but just try whatever, man. You know, because like I said, the good news is there are different types of books in the indie comic community. The majority are your typical comic book. You know?
Have you ever heard of one called Fall of Man?
No. Fall of Man.
These are interesting. They're like, if I had to describe them, they're sort of like, I'm just going to say it. It's sort of like X-Men. Okay. Mutants with superpowers in a post-apocalyptic world. Right. And there's like kaiju running around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And they're sort of like fighting them or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, there's all sorts of shit, dude. Okay, that's cool. Well, again, you said you're not going to. Your books aren't coming out until you said the summer, this coming summer. So you got time. That's cool.
This is probably one of the most interesting ones I've gotten so far. I've got 2 issues of. It's called Pistol Shrimp.
I've seen you post that before. Shrimp. Yeah. This campaign does good. Yeah. They got a good following.
Yeah, this is about a shrimp. He's also a cowboy. Right. And he lives in an underwater world, and there's like saloons and guns and sharks, and he's pretty much he's a bit of an archetype kind of caricature. This fish tank ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
Yeah, there's some comics.
It's like it's very comical and funny. So
that's how
action, lighthearted, good stuff.
That's how I think it's called the Little Mermaid. Again, I don't know who. I know it's a group of people.
I've heard of that. I've heard of the Little Mermaid.
Oh, dude,
I don't have it.
Dude, it's like over 20,000. Their campaign is big. People love that shit. And that was weird as hell when I first saw it because I'm like,
I love the
how are they getting away with this? Well, I didn't know back then about public domain and all this shit. Because I'm like, this is clearly a ripoff of the Little Mermaid, which is Disney. I'm like, how the fuck are they not burnt to the ground for this? But then watching live streams, people, they're like, no, what they said? They said that Wizard of Oz, Little Mermaid, there's all these stories that are public domain, which is the license ran out, so they're open to the public. So you can legally take the Little Mermaid or
have you seen
Wizard of Oz.
have you seen the Winnie the Pooh comic?
I've seen the horror movies. I own them, but
yeah, there's a horror movie, but
Yeah.
there's like a comic book of Winnie the Pooh. I share it every once in a while. I
Yeah.
don't have it, but
I
that's
must
some
have
type
seen
of-
it.
I can't remember, but it's something action, gore and violence.
Right.
I don't know if he's like a secret agent or if he's
Yeah.
a killer. I can't rember. But
But
that's
they
the
did
whole
that
thing.
with Winnie the Pooh. The Little Mermaid comic is the same way. It's her Ariel, but she's got a fucking M60 and belts and bull. It's just weird,
I've seen it. Yeah, it's funny.
And then
Good
there's
stuff.
a dude, a Comicsgate guy, a popular Comicsgate guy who's in there. He's a letterer. He does.
Is he Comicsgate or Iron Age?
Oh, he is Comicsgate. He's
Okay.
Ethan's letterer. In fact, he is a letterer for all of them. I think all the fucking Comicsgate guys. His name is Eric Weathers, and he's like the letterer. I'm like, I don't think anyone uses anyone except fucking him. This guy must be busy as shit. But he has his own comic as well, and it's based on the Wizard of Oz, and it's called I fucking forget.
I think I might have seen something about that too.
Battle Brick Road, as in Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
It was Battle Brick Road, and of course it's Dice. Fucking it's Dorothy, and she's got guns, and Toto is a floating robot. That kind of shit. The lion is a big monster lion, and Scarecrow's like a sniper. So it's like these creators take these IPs or whatever, but they're public domain, and then they can do whatever the fuck they want. Like you could make a goddamn porn of Wizard of Oz if you wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had no clue you could do that, especially when it came to worldwide known titles like The Little Mermaid and The Wizard of Oz. I'm like, how the fuck are these people doing this? But they can and they do, and the campaigns do fucking great, dude. 20,000, 30,000. It's crazy.
Well,
So yeah, the indie comic community is a strange one, man. It really is.
Well, when you get into copyrights and trademarks and stuff,
Yeah.
there's different categories, and when you get a trademark like that, you have to get the trademark for a specific category.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, if I wanted to, like right now,
Yeah.
I could open up a auto parts mechanic shop called Pepsi Cola.
Dude, we talked about this, I think, before, didn't we?
Maybe, but
Did I hear this on a live stream? I don't know. I swear to God, I've heard shit like this before.
Yeah, like I could do that because, or I mean, I'm assuming, unless Pepsi Cola has gained unless they bought the trademark in all like 26 categories or whatever it is.
Right.
And what you would have to do is they would have it for, say, a food and beverage, and that's the main one they use it for.
Right.
And then in theory, they could buy the trademark in every other category. And then they would just have to say, they would have to pay, I think it's like a monthly fee to basically reserve that trademark and say it's for the intensive usage.
Gotcha.
So it's like, we intend to use Pepsi Cola in the auto parts thing, but then they never actually do it. And so they're just paying money to make sure no one else opens up business in that category.
Yeah.
It for music and copyrights, there's similar things to that too. So you'll see people like if you're listening to a commercial and you hear a song and you're like, oh, I know that song. Hey, but it's like weird. It's a little bit different. Maybe it's in a higher pitch.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit twerked or whatever.
Right.
They've done that so that they're not violating copyright.
Okay.
Because what will happen is there's different copyrights you can get on music, and a lot of the time, what artists will get is the copyright on the recording.
Okay.
So I don't know this specifically, but let's say like the song "Bye Bye Bye" by NSYNC. Remember that song? Bye Bye.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, but maybe that recording is what's copyrighted.
Okay.
Well, if just the recording is copyrighted, then I could recreate the music
Wow.
and change the words. And then I'm not in violation of the copyright.
Copyright.
It's something different.
Gotcha.
There was a whole issue with Taylor Swift a couple years back because George Soros bought the copyrights to all her music.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, and she didn't own. Well, she doesn't own her music now. George
Soros, like
bought all
the
her
emperor.
Music. Yeah, bought all her music.
Jesus Christ,
she was
that's
pissed
fucked
off
up
about it.
Oh,
and she was or I guess it was like her first like country album or something. But anyway, she was like, I'm just gonna go back and re-record it all.
Wow.
Because she got the because the copyright that he bought was for the recordings.
Okay, not the
so if she
original.
just goes back and re-records them.
Weird.
She's not in violation of the copyrights of her music that somebody else owns.
Crazy, dude. That's crazy. Ugh, I never knew that. That's sick. Ugh.
But some people go more specific. They copyright the lyrics.
Yeah.
So you can't
change the words of the song. Yeah.
So some people will change the music, but then they'll swap in the same lyrics.
Gotcha.
That would be a violation. Some people, you can go all the way down to the notes, so you can copyright whole segments and stuff.
Gotcha.
Just depends on how much money you want to spend.
Yeah, true. All right, well, let's move on to. I'm gonna glance over this real quick because
let's talk about this map.
Well, just real quick because I've kind of lost interest in this subject already. I kind of covered shit with you. I kind of wanted to pertain it to you because, like I said, I'm just kind of concerned about I'm concerned about your future, young man. I'm concerned about your future, young man. I'm not worried. I guess I'm interested. I'm not worried about it. I think you'll be fine. I'm like, how are you going to get this to here? You know what I mean? And it doesn't sound like you even need to, dude. It's like, just you fucking do your thing. You'll be fine. You know what I mean? But it's interesting to me that you are like not even going to really be involved in any comic community, but yet you pay attention to it. And maybe it's just because it's interesting because as you know, there's so much fucking drama and crazy people involved. It's like entertaining. You know what I mean? So this map, again, this is just something simple. And again, what this is for is whoever the fuck watches this stream, if they don't know what the fuck we're talking about the indie comic community, this is what we're talking about. And as you can see, this is my medieval version because everything I do is fucking medieval. So your black wall that separates the fucking empires from the free lands. This is DC and Marvel, the big two. So we talk about the big two or the mainstream comics or the big two. That's Marvel and DC. And clearly they're walled off from everyone else. All this shit here, this is the free fucking land.
This is like the 4 panels of the political compass.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, really, if you think about it. But this is the independent land here. So all this lighter area, which is all broken up, I'll get to that in a minute. This is the indie comics.
Real quick.
What's that? Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's this great thing that I think is happening, and I'm not able to enjoy it.
What's that?
I can't see your mouse. Are you moving your mouse around on the map?
Yeah, you can't see it?
Yeah, your mouse is not there.
Let me move to the. How about that? Can you see it now?
No, I think it's something having to do with the
stream, probably.
Yeah, they probably won't show where your mouse is.
That's fine. Anyway. That's no big deal. You don't really need to. You can.
It just seemed like he was pointing out, like over here is this, and over.
I am, but that's all right. No big deal. I do that anyways. I'm just a habit. So as you can see,
top left
to the people, the independent comics community is this shit. And again, the big two. Ironic, isn't that funny? How the indie comics have a big two? It's like parallel. It's a mirror image almost. It's almost creepy. The big two in indie comics, from what I can tell.
I've joked that I thought that maybe Ethan Van Sciver and Young Ripple would become like the figureheads of the next big two that replace DC and Marvel.
definitely following the path. I don't think they're going to replace them. Even Ethan has said many times, there's no way no indie will ever replace Marvel and DC. There's no fucking, because he's worked for both, and he's been on the inside for years, so he knows how big they are and how they operate. And it's I don't know shit about them. I just take his word for it, as in a guy who's been in there since he was 20 fucking years old. They're big companies and they're huge and they ain't going anywhere. It's like Disney. Everyone's like, oh, Disney's going to collapse. They will never collapse. Never. If they didn't make a dime for the next 50 fucking years, they will still be fine. They have so much fucking money. They're not going broke anytime.
They make most of their money off theme parks anyway.
Yeah, it's people have this hope
and,
that
cruise ships,
all these places are going to collapse. No, you can't fathom the amount of money these places have. Like, you just can't compute it in your head because no one is that wealthy. It's insane. So I don't think DC and Marvel are going anywhere, and that seems to be what most of the pros say. But the indie comics community, definitely, Comicsgate is on one spectrum and Whipperverse is on the other spectrum. And unfortunately, fortunately, a year plus ago, there was a time when the two of them were joined together. And I was going to, actually, I'm like, if I got into this map, I would start adding more shit. And in the middle between Comicsgate and Rippaverse, I would have I'll call it the Bridge of Ashes, because clearly there was a bridge that was burnt between the two kingdoms. You know what I mean? And I was there for that. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Sure.
1 second. Be right back.
All right. You have any earbud problems?
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Are you having earbud problems? Oh, the book. Oh, you got it. Look at that.
Yeah, this is the one that Ethan Van Sciver drew.
Yeah, Ethan's cover. Yep. There you go. Yeah, I know all that well.
This is the Rippaverse and Comicsgate. This is right in the middle when they work together and we're best friends.
Did I show you the drawing I did of Rippa for? It's basically fan art.
You told me about it.
I didn't show it to you. Fuck, I'll show it. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, I did this one drawing as it was
by the way,
it was for that. I was basically congratulating him.
Okay.
I was congratulating him, and so I did this fucking drawing, like just as in, good.
Congratulations,
Congratulations! I'm proud of you. Good for you. You kick ass. Here you go. As in, I didn't want.
And then it was like
any job or any
fan art, right?
In fact, it was the first in his fan art. It was it's at the top of his fan art page. But then, like a couple weeks or a few weeks or a month later, they had the fan art contest. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing a fucking new drawing. I'll just fucking use this. And I knew this was basic. It's a simple, it's not full body crazy action. But I'm like, this took 2 days and 2 nights. I'm like, it's kind of cool, And so I entered it. Obviously, I knew I wasn't going to win anything. And of course, I didn't win anything. But this is my little mark in history, because a lot of people did like it. You know what I mean? But it's sad how naive we all were back then, because we were all together. Because he's punching out an SJW. You see the blue hair, and that's a nose ring that's popping out, flying across. They said,
it's cool to punch a Nazi. So these socialists were out here being authoritarians,
and my whole point was I saw him as kicking ass of the woke fucking people, and that was the whole intent. Well, little did we know that wasn't his intent. He wasn't there to battle the woke shit. He was there just to promote his shit, and make money and all that stuff. His attitude was different from a YouTube streamer and then comics. And Ethan and Comicsgate found out the hard way, and that's what caused the burn bridge. One of the factors that burnt the bridge.
The reason
But whatever.
the reason I got these, like, I've got others in the other room.
Yeah.
Because I got covers A, B, and C for ISOM 1 and ISOM 2.
That's cool. Well, Shane Davis did a cover. Ethan did a cover, and who's the other ones?
I don't remember.
I don't either. But all I remember is Shane Davis. Shane Davis's cover was cool. Ethan's cover was cool. It was nice for a time. They were all working together. And then, of course, shit happened, and whoever the fuck you ask is going to give you a different opinion, different reason of why the bridge got burnt, but the fucking bridge got burnt, and it got burnt bad. And that was that, and there's no coming back. And so here's your two big kingdoms separated. And then the whole point of all these other little broken counties and shit is, to me, these are all these other little tribes, because I've talked about this before, how it's so fucking tribal. And we, you and I were kind of going back, naming off some of these tribes and shit. But the problem is it's not like it's set in stone. These are like nicknames. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that don't like them call them this, and people that don't like this call them this.
Like this guy, Kataru Witch Hunter. This is a great story, by the way.
Yeah, is that
Vonster?
Is that Vonster or Von Klaus or something?
Maybe.
I see it around. Yeah,
Von Klaus.
Okay, he's known as Vonster. He's popular. He's big. I thought, isn't he in England or Scotland or something?
I have no idea, but I know that he's pro one of these groups and very anti the other group.
He's anti Rippaverse and pro Comicsgate. Yeah,
okay.
He's definitely.
I can't remember what clique he rolls with.
And you got to be careful. That's why when it comes to Twitter, just shut the fuck up. Don't type shit. Just watch. Do what I do. Just watch and gather information and see who the fuck is with who. Because, dude, it is so goddamn confusing. It's like I can't even keep up anymore. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I'm not even fucking involved with them. But I'm so paranoid that someone's going to come after me for some stupid reason. I have to know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vonster's definitely a Comicsgate guy and not a Rippaverse guy. And that's how everyone is. But there are people like me who are indies, and we're cool with both sides. Now, I've said before, I am on the side of Comicsgate. I consider myself an ally to Comicsgate. But I'm not an enemy of Rippaverse. Like, no one's fucking done anything to me because I'm not involved in this shit. I'm way off the coast here. I'm like near the edge of the map. You know what I mean? If I was bigger and more, you are judged two ways in indie comics. It doesn't matter how you look or if you're nice or whatever the fuck it is. It's how much money has your campaign made and how many backers has your campaign. That's all. That's all people give a shit about. So if you look at me, that's why I don't matter, because I haven't made much money and don't have many backers. So therefore, I'm kind of safe because I'm under the radar. You know what I'm saying? It's like no one gives a fuck about me, so no one's going to come after me.
That was why I backed Rippa so much.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I never read any of his books before, so I wasn't like, oh man, he's a great.
Right. Well, he's brand new. He's new to the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I supported him originally because he seemed like a cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then I definitely wanted to support him for the second round.
Yeah.
Just because I saw him as like an example of what me or anyone else could do.
Right.
Because he was just this guy. He wasn't in DC. He wasn't a big Marvel. He was just some guy who just so happened to.
Exactly right.
He was a vocalist for a band.
Yeah.
Success there. And he did have a YouTube channel, which had some success there.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, he's still just a guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I got this comic, I think it's pretty cool. Check it out. And then millions of dollars later, it's like, oh, normal people can be successful.
Right.
So that was.
There's more to that story, though, right? It wasn't that simple, because that's what I thought too, dude. And
well, I mean, he advertised he spent like $100,000 on advertisement.
Yeah.
and marketing. But still, like, that's just pay to play. That's just the way it is. And that's the route that I'm trying basically going to be going, because I'm
one of the biggest problems that was discovered was, because I remember him. I was telling people this, where he said he had $250,000, $250,000 of his own money that he saved up or whatever and spent on this. And so he said if this failed, he'd be fucked, right? And me and all of everyone else saw this as this huge gamble, this huge courageous thing. Like, holy shit, this fucking dude saved up. And right there, I should have known better. I'm like, no one who's married with kids can save $250,000. There's no way. You just can't. You can't save $1,000. You're constantly spending it on wife and kids and groceries and bills and shit. You know what I mean? So that was the first flag that I missed. This $250,000 that he used to fund this is from the Blaze. You know what the Blaze is?
That's a news thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Glenn Beck.
Okay.
Glenn Beck and the Blaze gave him $250,000 to get this going. This, no one did, and it was Comicsgate, mostly Ethan, that figured it out. They found it. So that was one of many secrets that became revealed, and it kept going this way. And this is what the divide was. This was because Comicsgate basically realized, and of course, told everybody, and all the live streams and stuff, that Eric July is not fully honest and truthful. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to believe it. I'm like, oh, come on, really? Because it's like, you were on his side. You're like, yeah. But then once you start finding the shit, and it's not like just hearsay. I mean, they're showing the receipts. They're showing video and showing evidence.
People just really don't like when people are disingenuous.
And they also don't like people that are really successful. And that was the target that Eric July painted on himself. He blew the fuck away the big guys, Ethan and all the other guys. And right there, he had a target on him, because now you've got envy and everything else. You know what I mean? But I was naive. I thought everything was cool. This is great. It's like two kings coming together and sticking it to the fucking woke mainstream. Well, the two kings both have egos and they have big armies. And when the kings fight, it ain't the kings fighting. It's their armies that fight. And it's just like history and everything else. I'm like, I'm not a fucking soldier in either army. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? And so
it's hard to be modest on a throne.
Yeah, I guess. But that's how I kind of entered in, because I'm like, this is fucked up now. I'm like, this is really going to be a bitch to fucking crowdfund this. And of course it is, and so I'm like, fuck. And I'm not going to fucking fight and argue these stupid shit on social. It's such a waste of fucking time. But anyways, this is the whole thing. And my whole point is, what I would love to do is, I know there are other indie creators like me who don't want to have anything to do with this bullshit, like as in this tribal crap. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm cool with fucking everybody as far as I know. Now, maybe there are people that have an issue with me. If they do, I don't fucking know who the hell it is. But I'm cool with fucking everybody, right? And so to me, it's like, okay, all these indie creators who are not in Comicsgate, who are not in Rippaverse and all this stuff, and who are all struggling, because if you're not involved in one of these, you're probably going to be struggling, right? Why don't they fucking back each other? For starters, you know what I mean? And that's what I basically said, and I think I told you this before, about how if another creator backed my book, I'm going to fucking turn around and back their book as well. Even if it's not my kind of thing. The point is, they're cool to me, I'm cool to them. You know what I mean? It's that whole, you do for me, I do for you kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so I still feel that way, and I want to fucking do that. And that's the one thing is I don't want to like announce it, like tweet it out or something like that. But it's just one of those things where like if indie creators who like me, if any of them happen to see this fucking show, it's like that's what I will do. You know, it's like I would even have them on the show. Say someone with some crowdfunding campaign struggling, you know, I'd be like, well, motherfucker, come on the show. And on the fucking air live, it's like you back me and I back you. There you go. Now you have a backer and I have a backer. And because you're cool to me, there's 2, 3, 4, 5 people I can connect with. I can just whatever text or call and be like, hey, check this campaign out. What do you think? Helping them out. You know what I'm saying? So they technically wouldn't get just me as a backer. They may get 2, 3, 4, 5 more people backing. And so I just think that's one way to help the struggling indie creators. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not doing it just to be a nice guy. It's like, no, you back me and I back you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not backing you first because I've had more than one incident where that kind of happens and you don't get the reciprocity. You know what I mean? So I fall for that shit. But that's just kind of what I think. It's like if a creator backs me, then I'll fucking back them. Because I know, you know, to a big campaign who's making 50,000, 1 backer, 2 backers, that doesn't mean shit. But to some fucking new indie creator who is struggling, who's made $100 on a campaign or something, you know what I mean? Dude, 2, 3, 4 backers, that completely changes their whole shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to do. And so basically it's like, I know you're not really involved that much in the indie comics industry, but if you spot a campaign that seems kind of cool, and if you go to their page and it looks like they're struggling, let me know and maybe I can talk to them. So, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I am right now because I'm looking at because this whole map thing with indie comics and shit, the big guys aren't going to help the little guys. It's just it's like I hate to tell you guys, if you haven't figured it out yet, this is fucking how it is. It's like the little guys like me and the new people who are not involved in this shit, dude, you don't exist as far as I know. All the independent creators are concerned with their own shit first and foremost. The big guys especially, and as they should. I'm not ripping on them at all. I'm actually kind of defending them, saying, "What do you expect?" You know, these guys are used to making 6 figures or more. They're not going to waste their time with someone who's making $1,000 on the campaign. You know what I mean? They are dealing with their shit. So don't expect them to fucking help you is what I'm saying. And I think people are starting to get it, but I still think there's some that are hopeful. Like, oh, if I get noticed and I could be on his show or, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're better off getting help from the other people at the bottom because you probably aren't going to get help at the top. Now, nothing's definite because there have been instances where some of the big guys have helped, but it just from what it looks like and from what I've heard and from what people have been talking about in the last week or two, it looks like the big creators are kind of tightening their shit, as in like they're even going to be more focused on their own campaigns and not as much helping others. So anyways, that's just one thing I wanted to say with this whole fucking map thing is it's like, look at the map because from what I can tell, it's pretty fucking accurate. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of fucking little islands down there near the bottom. And if all those little islands helped each other, I think everyone would be better off, you know?
I seen a thing or was listening to a thing about 3 months ago, I think. And I jotted down this little note that what they was talking about, but they were saying that DC Comics is seeing 2/3 of their comics. They're now below what was previously the cancellation line of sales.
Wow. Yeah.
So to reiterate, 2/3 of their comics that are being released now, their sales are so bad that they're below what used to be the line that meant if you're below this line, we're canceling you.
Wow.
And now 2/3 of their comics are below that line. And they're like, yeah, that's normal. That's good.
Yeah.
But that's the new norm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
And
yeah,
that's why That's why they do. They're constantly canceling these little mini series. They start up a new thing. They'll get about 5 issues in, and then they'll cancel it.
Yeah,
and then they'll start over with a new issue number 1.
Yeah,
and they know that people would flock to buy issues number 1s. And if I had to guess, I'd say 3/4. That's just a number I'm pulling out my ass, but maybe 3/4 of people who buy comics don't even read comics.
Yeah,
they're just speculative investors.
Wow.
They're like, I think I can make money off of these comic book things. Oh, that's a number 1. That might be worth something in 50 years. I'll go ahead and buy one.
Right. Investors. Yeah. They're just using it as an investment. Yeah. I don't know. I am still learning this shit every fucking day, dude. Like I said, I've been watching and learning for over 3 years, and I still don't fucking know what's going on. I mean, it just changes all the time. It's crazy. But anyways,
have you ever heard of the comic series or comic industry, whatever, publishing house called Dark Horse?
Oh yeah, fuck, dude, I have Dark Horse. Shit, in college we loved their shit.
Yeah, they got
Dark Horse and Image. Dark Horse and Image were the shit in the 90s, man.
It's kind of a debatable of where they fit in on the chart or whatever, but some might say that Dark Horse is like the number 3, maybe the number 4 comic
company. Image is probably bigger. Image is bigger. You basically had Marvel and I was going to mention that on the map. I forgot after I drew it. I was like, fuck, I should have had Image and Dark Horse and shit in there, because Image is a big company. Dark Horse was another one, and there's others too. I just don't know them. But the ones I have comics, because they did Aliens, they did Predator, they did Aliens versus Predator. They did all this fucking cool shit in the 90s, man. The Darkness. It was just Image and Dark Horse were fucking cool. And again, everything seems to fall apart. Like
they had Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy. They just did some cool shit in the 90s. And
isn't Spawn on Image?
I think so. Spawn, the 90s was crazy. It was like the new age of comics, man, because suddenly they were dark and like adult-like and tons of violence and nudity, and it was my kind of shit. Because before that, comics were just like for kids. They were happy and no cussing, and for me, it was a child thing, and a lot of the comic pros still want that, they love that innocent shit, the older guys, dude, anyone my age or younger, they're a 90s generation, and they're the ones who are like, fuck yeah, Spawn, you rip this
dark, gritty, and really giant guns, and just
fucked up, man. There's a lot of violent shit. The artwork was better, airbrush like crazy. That's when I started to notice comics, because I have Incredible Hulk comics of when I was a kid. I have a stack like this high, like from the late 70s and early 80s Incredible Hulk comics, because that was the only character I was into when I was a little kid, was the Hulk. That was it. I didn't give a fuck about Superman, Spider-Man, none of that shit. Only the Hulk. And so my dad, as a little kid, as an investor, because that's how my dad was invest in comics and stuff. Okay. I probably not know shit.
I think it was the 90s when there was the mass explosion of comics might actually be worth something.
Not just, but then, dude, the 90s was the comic, what do they call it? Renaissance. It was insane. And that, again, the start of the internet. And so the internet changes everything, and comics suddenly revamped. Because I remember in the late 80s, comic book shops closing up one after another after another. It was depressing. It was like they were just going down, man. They were going bankrupt, and so they were closing the stores. So comics were about to kind of like be gone, and then all of a sudden the 90s came about, in the internet, and all this whole new age of comics, and it just fucking exploded, and boom. And so here we are today. Now I think it's the same kind of thing, except now it's anything goes. You've got those dark, gritty comics. You still have the happy comics for kids type stuff, and then you got fucking manga and anime porn, and it's anything goes. It's like all the shit is involved in comics now, and you as a creator or a reader have to figure out which door am I going through, because it's like manga is not, what is it, hentai or whatever, you know, it's a lot different, you know. One's basically porn and the other is not, you know, and you can accidentally wind up here, go, fuck, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Right. I don't even know much of the difference, but I do know that manga's manga, and the whole Japanese porn crap is called hentai, and that's as far as I know. But anyways, that's
reason I was mentioning Dark Horse is you know, in the past couple of years, because of the whole woke stuff of getting into comics, comics or American graphic novels, whatever you want to call it, has been going down in sales, and Western audiences have been really gravitating towards manga and anime.
Oh yeah, it's been that way for over a year, at least 2 years, 3. It's been that way for a while, dude.
Yeah, for a couple of years.
Yeah,
but there was an amazing, just mind-blowing statistic that was put out by someone who worked at Dark Horse last year.
Yeah.
I guess maybe at this point it might technically be the year before. I think it was maybe November of 2022, maybe.
Okay.
But anyway, this person who works at Dark Horse, you're not going to believe this, but this is what they said. They said that manga made up 1% of all of their products, all their inventory. So of all their stuff, only 1% of Dark Horse material was manga.
Really?
But it made up 66% of their sales.
Yeah. Dude, it's wiping out everything. I mean, I've seen...
think about that. 99% of their inventory makes only 33% of their profits.
Yeah. It's manga's kicking ass. It's crazy. And believe me, a lot of comic guys don't like that fact. I'm confused by it because I'm not into manga. And I'm like, it's very Japanese. And I'm not Japanese, so I'm not into it. I mean, seriously, that's just how I am. I'm like, not my style. I don't even like the style of the artwork. I'm not into it. You know, I don't hate it. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm like, I'm just not into it, you know? But I've seen videos and shit where people, you know, on Twitter, they walk into a bookstore with their fucking cell phone filming like everyone does these days. And they're like, here's the, you know, American comic shelf. And it's like, you know, one shelf of American comics. And then they're like, here's the manga. And it's just like row after row after row. And they just keep walking. And you're just like, oh, dear God, this is insane. It's like, well, how many fucking manga comics are there? Who are these people? What these titles? It's like thousands and thousands and thousands of books. You're like, what is all this shit? You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's like a 6-to-1 ratio. I mean, it's like one bookshelf of American compared to like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shelves of manga. I'm just like, oh man.
Well, there's a couple of different things there.
Yeah.
That are significant. So for one, something that I really like, and I think a lot of people like, and it's actually something that Eric July mentioned when he was first getting into promoting ISOM.
Yeah.
So it was actually a critique that even Ripa mentioned about like American comics. American comics, like me, if I want to get into American comic, I have no idea where to begin.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, oh, Superman, he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Where do I begin? What's the first image? What's the first book of Superman I need to read? I want to.
You have $1 million?
Yeah, like I want to learn the story of Superman.
Right.
How do I do it?
Yeah.
Like, and then because there's not just this unknown beginning. Like, where the hell does it come from?
Right.
But there's like a million adaptations, a million different versions.
Right. Yes.
So it's like there's this series or this run where he was this way, And then there was this
Yeah.
other one that came out in 1965 where he drove a Cadillac. It's totally
Right.
different now. And it's just like, I can't keep track of this shit. And then
You're
it's
right,
like,
no.
all right, but you know, I'm kind of into it, so I'll go ahead and buy it. And I'll buy the first one and the last one. I'll learn the whole Superman story. There is no whole Superman story. It's still going.
It's still going.
It'll never end. And so it's like signing on to a building project that will never be over. You'll just build until you die.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why am I doing this?
But but the problem is it's not like the building is owned by one company. It's like owned by 10 companies, and each company is a creator, or it's like all of these, like you said, all these different versions of the same fucking thing, and you're just like, which are legit, which are not, and you're right. I mean,
whereas in the East, in manga, there is a clear, distinct first episode of a series, and there's a last.
That's cool.
There's a start and a finish, a beginning and an end to a series, and then it's over.
Cool. That's cool. And if they want to do something else, they make a new series, right? They don't.
Yeah, and so
we'll just continue this forever and ever.
So if you're into a story about Dave, the spatula wielding ninja, well, you're just going to get that one story, and when at the end of the story, that's it.
That's it.
And there's no other versions where he has a fork in this one.
Yeah, true. You're right. Yeah. Or his twin brother's helping in this one, or his mother comes up from the dead and she's helping in this one. Yeah. No, that's cool.
And so it's what it means is it's easier for new people to get into it.
Gotcha.
Because if you're into it, I can tell you, all right, man, well, here you go. Here's issue number 1. This is where you start. And then once you go into it, it's simple because in the bottom corner or top or wherever, there's a number. Yeah. Number 1. Right. Number 2. And you just keep going up in numbers until you hit a wall and you realize, that was it. That was the end of the story.
Which makes sense why the young generation's in it, because they are the new readers. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They're 12, 13, 14, 15. They're like, what's this comic book thing about? And then, like you said, where the fuck you start with Superman? But manga's like, this is where you start. Especially when you have someone, like you said, show them, say, hey, get this fucking book and go from here. Yeah, it's easier. It's easier.
That's why my novels, I'm designing my covers off of the layout for manga. Mm-hmm. And so my covers look like manga covers. Right. And there's even going to be a number in the corner. Number 1, number 2,
that's good.
Number
that's
3.
Cool.
And it's
you should, because you have 10 fucking books, right?
Yeah. And every cover is going to match the same layout, same style.
Cool.
Same location of the title on the top. Like it's all going to be the same layout.
Uniformal. Very, very uniformal.
Yeah. So when you see it, that's in that series. Good. Let me check the corner. That's book 3. I haven't even read 2 yet, so I don't want to read that one yet. It'll be very clear, very easy.
Make it easier for the reader, easier for the buyer. Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, again, it's going on 2 hours here, and I'm going to wrap this up.
Before we go, any comments in the comment section? Anybody say hello?
No, dude. We've been on our own today. We haven't had one fucking person watch tonight. I don't know what's going on, but I must.
I expected by the end of the video, cause I realized that like 20 minutes in, and I was like, "Poor Danny."
Well, Danny, Danny hasn't even been around Twitter much. Have you noticed?
She changed her profile picture, and then.
Well, yeah, because to nurse Danny, but like, have you interacted with her much?
I don't normally interact with her much in general.
Okay. I usually do, and I haven't interacted with her much lately.
Okay.
And my brother
must be working on something.
Yeah, I guess. My brother usually comes to chat, and he wasn't here tonight, which means he probably fucking passed out. He's asleep. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe people don't like the topic, or maybe they don't like you, or maybe they don't like me, or maybe they don't like both of us, man. But I don't give a fuck because we still talk 2 hours. But on a last note, Tyler, I got really good fucking news today. The fucking trading cards are printed. My brother in Virginia was in your neck of the woods. He was coming back from Virginia, and he sent me photos today. I haven't seen the cards yet, but the printer, I told you our printing technique is kind of secretive. The printer in Virginia finally gave us the sample batch, and he sent me the photos today. And if they look half as good as the photos, I'll be fucking happy. Dude, they look perfect, because this is like the third or fourth printer in 2 years we've tried to get to do cards, and they just can't do them. We can't find any printers around here that do trading cards, or if they do, the one printer who was going to do it like last Christmas got so swamped because he was alone and his business never recovered from COVID. He basically said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to this. And that's like, fuck. So my brother, fortunately, finally found a fucking printer in Virginia who did it, and they look awesome. So tomorrow he's coming over and we're going to hang out. And he's bringing the cards, and they printed some 8.5 by 11 prints. This is all for the campaign. You know what I mean? So this week, what I'll do is, if the cards look as good as they look in the photos, if everything's legit, I'll do like quick little videos of like holding the cards and post them on Twitter to basically say, hey, look, we got the cards. The first one's unlocked. Let's get to the second stretch goal to get the second card. But the thing is I told you I have like 10 cards done. I'm just introducing one at a time. So they printed out samples of fucking all of them. So I got like all 10 fucking cards, and I'm just like, God, these are good. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all different. It's humans and angels and fucking demons and this and that. But anyways, I was psyched because I wasn't expecting this. So tomorrow he's coming over and bringing that stuff. So I'll be able to see the prints and all the cards and all this shit. So that's how I'm ending the stream on a good note. That the trading cards, from what I can tell, look awesome. I'll know for
Didn't
sure.
you say
tomorrow.
that you was thinking about doing a new kind of like trailer video kind of thing? That should be
next Sunday. So I talked to Vichy, Professor Vichy, one of my musicians, and he's planning on coming on. Yeah, he's planning on coming on next Sunday night show to just again talk about him and what he's doing, but then talk about he and I are going to try to work on stream and figure out the new trailer, because you've seen the illustrations I've been doing for the book. It's all the battle shit, the good shit, the fun shit now. And so I'm getting more and more battle images, right? Well, that's what you use for a trailer. This picture and this picture, you know what I mean? So I want to talk to him about doing a trailer that is basically just on the battle shit, where the trailer is just, the good battle shit without ruining anything. I don't want to show the pictures that, ruin anything. But anyways, I'm hoping next Sunday, Vichy, and again, it's like, he has a wife and a kid. So it's that, things may subject to change. But I said, well, I need at least 2 days for sure, because I got to make the thumbnail and fucking tweet it out and all this crap. So hopefully next Sunday, Vichy's going to come on and we're going to talk about a possible new trailer for Volume 2. And then the other musician friend of mine, whose name is Braxton Lindsay, who is a country singer, and he actually is like at bars and shows playing every fucking week with a band. He may come on the show. I'm not sure when, but he wants to come on the show and talk about music, because Braxton is the musician who made like the first 2 or 3 trailers that I have. Like when I started making trailers like 3 years ago, he was the guy who did it. But shit changed in his life about a year or so ago, so he basically disappeared, and that's why Vichy's been doing the music for the trailers. So Braxton is kind of coming back into the picture now, which I'm happy as fuck about. And he may do the trailer for the black and white intervention in the spring. The black and white one, I called it dark fantasy Western. When he saw it, because he's redneck, he's country music, he's fucking Confederate flag. And He's like, dude, this looks fucking cool. He's like, is this a Western? I said, it's a dark fantasy Western. I said, it's not guns. It's still my realm, but it is heavy Western. It's like, it looks very Western stuff. He's like, this looks fucking cool. I said, dude, you should do the trailer for that. So he may be the guy to work on that. And that would be in the spring. And that'd be fucking perfect because he is a country fucking musician. And so the music for the trailer for that book definitely is going to have a country sound. It's going to have that guitar, you know what I mean? Or guitars.
Is it going to be just like a sort of like a music video with music and just slides? Or are you going to have like kind of
just like my other
stuff? Like
I like the voice acting with, like, you've seen every fucking show I play the trailer. That's the format. Because I don't have the technology to do anything different. I can't do fucking AI animation crap. I basically have the pictures that I use and some titles and little shit like that. But I want to, I love the voice acting part. Like, I love the characters talking, you know? And so.
Well, if you need a big old monster guy, I guess.
And I know I may take you up on that because maybe for the trailer with Vichy, because I'm not even sure what we're doing, you know, but I will definitely look. It's good to know that you are open for voiceovers because I'll need it because I need more of a variety, you know what I mean, of voice actors and shit. I may call you up on that.
Things.
Exactly. Whether it's this additional trailer for Volume 2 or the trailer for the supplemental in the spring. But either way, I may take you up on your voice acting offer. But anyways, that was the good news is that, one, the trading cards look fucking cool from what I can tell. I'll know for sure tomorrow. But we're starting to print shit for the campaign. You know what I mean? And the whole trailer thing where I'm probably going to do a second trailer with Vichy, which is going to show the battle content for Volume 2. And then if Braxton is back in the picture, and I'm not sure if he is for sure, because that's how he is. He's not the most reliable guy in the world, but he seems like he's kind of coming back. And if he could do the fucking trailer and music for the spring campaign, that would be fucking cool. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling better. I just need more backers. So whoever the fuck is watching this, if you haven't backed Volume 2, back it, because it's only $15 fucking dollars, not 25 like most people. And it's 48 pages, full color, all sorts of cool shit. You know, I would consider it rated R. The first book I would say is definitely an NC-17, as you know. Wouldn't you agree, Tyler? I would say NC-17 for sure for the first book.
Well, it's a little mature.
It's pretty mature. This one is like a rated R. It's a 16-year-old could read the book, the Volume 2, and be okay with it. I mean, you don't know because I haven't finished it. No one's read it yet. But I can tell you as the creator, the first book was hardcore, and I would say that's an NC-7. No one under 17 I would want to read that first book. But, there's my buddy in Ohio. Holy shit. And we're just about to leave. Perfect timing, EK. I may have to call him tonight. This is my friend in Ohio. He's the one who went to college together and D&D and all that shit. He never fucking comes on. Eek. Yeah, he just must have got home from work. That's cool. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. So there's the good news, Tyler. So I'm happy. So yeah, on that note, that's that. Anything else you want to say in as we wrap this up?
I was going to ask about those cards you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to be like a separate kind of thing that people can like purchase, or is it going to be like just like how are people going to get their hands on them?
I'm just kind of taking it step by step. First, I want to see the fucking things and make sure they're up to spec. But from what I can tell, I'm impressed. Like, really, I'm like, these look fucking perfect. But I have to actually see them. You know what I mean?
I know that some of or pretty much all the GoFundMe kind of people, they have like different perk tier things, and like
that's how these are going to be.
Get two books. Get the book and the shirt. Get the book, the shirt, the cards, and they just keep adding up.
Well, have you seen my dude? That's what I do on my campaign. I bring it up, but I'm getting ready to leave here. If you go to my FundMyComic campaign for Volume 2, that's what I have. It's like, okay, well, you get the book for $15, and then for $20, you get the book in this 8.5 by 11 print, and then for $25, you get the book in 3 prints, and then for this, you get the book, the prints, and a fucking T-shirt. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, all these different tiers. But the first trading card has been unlocked because at the $500 goal unlocks the first trading card. The next goal is the $1,000 tier, and we're at like 600 something. We're over $600. So I'm like, we may be able to get to the $1,000 tier eventually, which means every backer gets 2 cards, right? And if it would keep going, then you get a 3rd card. So I'm basically just introducing these cards on this campaign. But the fact that they're actually printed and they, from what I can tell, they look fucking great. That's cool because we were having so many problems just to get them printed. I was at the point where I'm like,
this might not happen.
If we can't do this, I need to think of a fucking replacement. And this is going to piss me off because I'm going to have to change the campaign and tell people, sorry, no trading cards. Instead, we're doing this. And I did not want to fucking do that. Nor did my brother because he's more excited about the cards than I am. When he found out I was doing cards, he's like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Let's do it. So he's all about the cards, which is why.
Have you ever considered maybe doing like a poster kind of thing?
Oh, I got the first campaign. I had posters, dude.
Okay.
But what kills us is the shipping.
Yeah.
That's why everything's 8.5 by 11 and smaller, because the minute you have something bigger, you need a bigger package, and there's no, so it weighs more, and the shipping fucking destroys you, dude. And first time campaign people, a lot of them don't realize that, and they find out too late. Once they're fulfilling, they're like, holy shit, shipping. The person got the book and this and this and this, and it's a fucking box, and it's going to cost $100 to ship, and I only charge them $20, $15 for shipping, or $10 for shipping. So now you're covering 90 fucking. You see what I'm saying? So I made that mistake the first time because people did get these posters, but it was $50 shipping shit.
That's one of the big perks about me trying to go through Amazon.
Yeah,
I won't have any inventory. I don't have to do any shipping.
Right, they have it all.
Yeah, they do it all. So once when I'm done, I'm going to click a button. And then it's going to be on Amazon, and then I'm just going to kick back, relax, and every once in a while I'll get a notification and be like, sale. And I'm like, cool, money.
And that's why it's so different, because when you crowdfund, you are it, man. It's like, you have to print the books. You have to package them and ship them, take them to the fucking, post office or UPS or FedEx or wherever the fuck. What do you use? Do I use the post office or do I use FedEx? All that shit, no one tells you what to do. You have to fucking learn it all yourself. So that's why, like I said, this whole indie comic crowdfunding shit, dude, it's like I have like a fucking college degree in this crap because I've had to learn all this shit on my own, just trial and error, and mostly videos. And this is why I watch so many Comicscape videos, because Ethan and all the other guys, they explain this shit. They tell you how to do it, what to watch out for, and so for 3+ years, I've been taking all this in.
It all.
Yeah. And dude, and there's still shit to learn. It's like, dude, it's weird. It's like right when you think you've got it all figured out, no, you don't. There's still something else, or something changes or whatever. But crowdfunding is so much different than Amazon, dude. That's where it's like, what you're doing is like a different arena than what I'm doing. And so I'm like, I'm just not sure how you cross it over. But it doesn't matter for you because you do what the fuck you do in that arena. You don't need this arena. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up. But thanks for hanging out, man, and talking about all this shit. And that's cool about your book now. So I'm like, I won't fucking nitpick your book. I'll just fucking read it and let you know shit. If I have questions, I have questions. So maybe the next couple nights I'll shoot you a DM and say, hey, I just read the next few pages. But yeah, so hopefully next Sunday, V should be on. We'll talk about the next trailer. And then eventually Braxton will come on. And then December 5th, which is like in 3 weeks, I think, I'm going to be on that Kitty Flip City Chicks show.
Oh, yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah.
She was on my like month or two ago. So December 5th, I'll be on her show. Yeah. I forget his name. But yeah, they were cool. They were a cool couple. Yeah, Mr. Kitty, whatever. But they were cool, man. That was a crazy night. I can't believe they stayed that long. I think we did 2.5 hours.
I still can't believe they're like totally into Antifa.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're cool. So, anyways, I'll let people, and she'll let people know too, of course. But I'll just let people know here. Hey, head over to her channel if you want to see me make an ass of myself, and God knows what the hell we're going to talk about over there. But that'll be cool because I've never been on another show. Like I said, this will be my first show. I'm used to being here and saying whatever the fuck I want to say. So that'll be interesting. So anyways, yeah. So good news is we're printing shit for the campaign already. The cards look good. I'll know for sure tomorrow. I'll show some pictures and videos this week on Twitter about the cards and everything. Maybe new trailers, new musicians coming in. So yeah, it'll be fucking cool. Things are starting to pick up again. As for this show, it's going the opposite. It seems to be going downhill because at the end of the show, 2 hours later, we have one person watching. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but I must be doing something wrong, Tyler. What do you think, man?
I don't know. Like I said, I was asking about the comments. So I don't see the YouTube stuff on my end. I just see this.
I don't either. I don't give a fuck. And I am more relaxed when there's not an audience. You know, when it's just you and me sitting here talking, because it's just like us hanging out at my place. So with whatever, you don't drink, do you? I don't know, drinking sodas or coffee or whatever the fuck we would do. It's just hanging out and talking. So I don't care, whatever. But yeah, it was just kind of odd because like a couple weeks ago, it was like all these, like everyone, Vichy and my brother and Danny and all these people were in fucking chat. And then tonight, like none of them are in chat. So I'm like, how's this work?
Us trying to socialize would probably start out with you showing me, like we would probably talk about music.
That's cool. Yeah.
if we were hanging out in person, we'd probably be like, you'd be like, man, check out this band. And I'm like, yeah.
I keep forgetting you're a musician. That's what you do. So you're like the third fucking friend of mine that's a musician. I always make friends with these musicians. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I swear to God, most of the people I know either were in a band or are in a band. It's weird. So I guess I just click musicians.
Yeah, I was a musician and then I got a new dream.
That's cool, man. Dude, I was into film and I completely scrapped that, but it's amazing how it still clings. Like the way I draw and write, it's like a movie to me. It's not like a comic book. It's like I'm making something that, like, to me, I can see as a movie. You know what I mean? So whatever. So anyways, that's it for tonight. We did 2 hours, man. That went kind of fast. So it was cool hanging out with you. So we'll see about next weekend with Vichy. If Vichy cancels next weekend, I'm just gonna take a break from the show for a weekend because I have no fucking clue what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm running out of things to talk about, man.
That's fine.
I've been accused of being in a band. That's right. No, that's for sure. I have that photo. See there again. I told you. I don't know what the fuck it is about my friends, man. But they're all involved in music somehow. I hope in my next life I'm a musician because I think this life is getting me ready for the next life because everyone I fucking hang out with somehow is like tied to musicians. So you're right, Eek. I have that album. He is on the cover.
I had one band that I was loyal to for like 11 years or something.
Wow.
And that was when I put out those 8 albums. And then I had a second band on the side that I was a part of for like 1 year. That was a fun experience of just, we was playing live music, just having fun, being silly. And then I'm sort of, I guess, I don't know. I guess you might say I'm part of a band now. There's a
Mhm.
buddy of mine who lives out in California, and he's got like a solo project, but he's always every once in a while he hits me up and he's like, "Hey, you want to do some vocals for me?" And I'm like, "Sure."
That's cool. That's how it is. Music is it's weird that way. It's so just go.
I'm
with
like,
the
what do
flow.
you want
It's
me to
weird.
sing about? You know,
Yeah.
it's like metal.
It's like whatever, man.
He's just like whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'll just write a song about killing cops
Dude,
or something.
Yeah, it's like there's no, what do you call it, like framework for musicians and band. It's just so fucking. I can't even think of
Usually
the words.
it's because it's metal. It's like, dude, I can't understand what you're saying anyway. You're just
Yeah.
screaming and roaring. I'm
Yeah.
like, true.
Well, that's cool. Well, I'll have to remember about you with the whole musician thing. All right, man. So EK, well, thanks for making it to end, buddy. Ek, I don't know if I'll talk to you tonight or not. I'm tired and I'm fucking starving. So I'm probably not going to feel good after I eat. I'll probably just go to bed. But I'll try to catch up with EK one of these nights here.
Smoke, eat, and crash.
Yeah, no shit. So, and then, yeah, like I said, so next weekend, hopefully Vichy's here. Yeah, we'll fucking take it as is. But I will get with you in like maybe tomorrow night or the next night about the book. I'll try to get some more reading done and get back to you about that. All right, man.
Just like try to get through like the second chapter.
Yeah. Well, like I said, now that I don't have to act
Analyze.
like I'm a fucking I can just read like a reader.
Casual, man.
So I'll read. That's what I mean. I'll look at it. I'm so used to working in everything I fucking do. I'm like, no, this isn't work. This is just to read and enjoy. So I'll do that. So I'll get with you in a couple of days. But again, thanks for retweet. I see you posting shit and tweeting shit and all this crap. And I appreciate that because again, not many people do. So it's I can always rely on you to spread the word about my latest drawing or the fucking campaign or the show or whatever the fuck it is. And I still appreciate that, man. All right.
Sounds good.
Cool. Okay. I will talk to you soon. And EK, I'll get with you soon. And hopefully next weekend we got Professor Vichy here to talk about our trailer and music. So everyone have a good night and take care. Watch your back. See ya.
Later.